Welcome back to my podcast. Welcome back to Review by Top Shelf Tammie. That's me, where I review and make book recommendations for you guys. Yes, I am so happy to be back. I had to take a week off last week because I was in a car accident. So I took it was about a week and a half ago, and I was not able to get here and do this review. So I am extremely happy and blessed to be back. So guys, welcome back. This is going to be a report episode. So I am going to be making those recommendations for you guys and giving you that report style book report to let you know if you should dive deeper into these books to read. But I'm excited because I had two good books. So yes, let's get to it. Alrighty. So jumping right in, because you know I ain't gonna hold you around here. Giving you some homework. So you ain't got nothing to do. You on this episode, you ain't got nothing to do yet. Okay, so giving you your homework. My first book. This was a first time read for me. I will let the cat out the bag and let you know that no, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you next week. I'm gonna tell you next week. We're gonna talk about it next week. Okay, so jumping right in. The first book was Summoned to Chaos by Winter Time. Y'all read this one? Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into it. So again, this book is Summoned to Chaos by Winter Time. This book was published January 13th, 2026. So this hot off the press. This hot off the press, y'all. Alrighty, so the genre classification for this one is gonna be a true urban romance to me. The setting for this book is Prairieville, Illinois. Not sure if that's a real place, but yeah. Our main characters in this book, we have Herc, we have Misa, we have Chaos, and we have King. So one girl, three guys. What's about to go down? Yes. Alrighty, so let me jump right into that summary, and then I am going to get to the rest of the review. Okay, guys, so this is going to be the summary for Summon to Chaos by Winter Time. Okay, imagine this. You're 30 years old, still figuring life out, making sandwiches by day, binge watching true crime by night. And then one random day, a jury summons lands in your mailbox. Most people were grown, but not Misa. For her, a murder trial isn't an inconvenience. It's front row seats to the kind of chaos she's always studied from a distance. Now enter Chaos, a man who has fought his way into power and respect, but the courtroom, that's a place he never wanted to see again. His past with the law still linger, and this particular trial is hitting way too close to home. Two strangers, one murder case, and a verdict that might change more than just the defendant's fate. Because sometimes the real chaos isn't what's being argued in court, it's what's happening around the gavel. This is a story about judgment, about past that refuses to stay buried, and about how serving justice might cost more than either of them expected. Now let's get into it. Y'all know how I am. I'm not easily impressed, but when I'm excited about something, I can't hold it. Okay. So we is gonna jump into the rest of this review, and then I'm gonna lead y'all to it. Okay, for starters, was this book engaging? So right off the bat, this book was very engaging. Very much in the beginning, we get Misa and she meet two handsome guys. So we got a little love triangle right out the gate. Cause it's like, who's she gonna pick? So the way that the book described the guys are they are very handsome. So that is in itself is keeping you engaged enough to be like, who's she gonna pick? Because they just so fine, right? So absolutely. All right. Was the plot predictable? So the plot was kind of predictable because it's kind of like you kind of knew she was gonna meet both the guys. You kind of knew she was gonna like both the guys. You kind of knew she was gonna be teetering with both guys. But then the author, she hit us with a plot twist. And the plot twist, you're not gonna see coming. So I'm teetering on this one, like, is it predictable or isn't it predictable? 50-50. 50-50. Y'all gotta do the Birdman hands because oh my goodness. The plot twist unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Next bullet point is book strengths. So this book to me, I really feel like the strength was it was very original. And by me, I have been reading books for a long time, 20 plus years. I have never ran across this plot. So this book strength was very original storyline. Loved it. This book weaknesses. Oh gosh. So I do have I have a chunk of book weaknesses, but I think I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit and then we gonna go to the rest of that in next week in questions and discussions. But let me read and see what I can get y'all. Okay, so the book weaknesses to me was the main character Misa. She came off a little juvenile and a little ditzy to me. She was almost 30 years old. She was kind of still trying to figure her life out. And some of the things that she say is just so immature. And why I made this one of my book weaknesses is because I feel like the author could have still told this story and the character Misa, she could have been a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more with her life together, and the story could have still went off just fine. Like it didn't change. It wouldn't have changed the plot if she was just a little bit more leveled up. Okay, so moving on. Does the book achieve its goal? Yes, it does. It's going to keep you entertained until the end of the book. It's going to keep you invested. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, I did not see that one coming. And you're going to be like, I would definitely recommend this book to other people. So, yes, it did. Okay. Our trigger warnings for this book. We got a little bit. We got some murder in this book. We are also going to have a drug overdose in this book. And then we are going to teeter with mental illness in this book. So, those are the triggers. We're going to move on to my final thought. And my final thoughts goes as such. This book was very short, to the point to me. It was very entertaining. It gave us enough backstory to draw us in for it to be a standalone. So yes, it's a standalone. It was definitely worth the read. And I would recommend more books from this author. This was a first time read. I was impressed. So, Summon to Chaos by Wintertime, the review, I recommend you, girl. Alrighty, guys, moving right along. We're going to keep this thing going. Alrighty. So, our next one, I believe our next book was a first time author for me as well. You guys know the reason why I do different authors is because I want to find different authors that's out there, and then I also want to introduce you guys to different authors. I know sometimes we get caught up with one author and we stay in a series and we read all their books and we really love them, but I feel like it's so many great authors out there that we can go all try, right? So another first time read, and this one, Tame Kane, a dark paranormal romance, Fated Mates by Tessa Stone. So, jumping right into this book. This book, Arthur again was Tessa Stone. This book was published August 9th, 2024. The genre classification for this book is going to be a urban paranormal romance. The setting for this book is going to be Detroit, Michigan, some of the surrounding areas, and then the city where the majority of the story takes place is going to be called Winter Moon. But again, that's not a real place. This is a paranormal book. But just letting you guys know. Alrighty. Our main characters in this one is going to be very simple. We are going to have Kane, and then we are going to have Tammie. I like her name because it's spelled almost like man. I'm Tammie. She's Tami. So not quite Tammie, but to me. Okay. Alrighty. So we had 0 errors in this book, and then we had 0 inconsistencies in this book, which is a great accomplishment. Love that for this author. I would like to throw this out there that this is not a standalone. This book is one of 5. I will say that you don't necessarily have to continue the rest of the series if you don't want to, but you're going to want to. This one is good one. This one was a good one. And even if you don't finish the rest of the series, I feel like you will almost be satisfied with just this one book. So yeah, don't get turned away by that. But y'all readers, y'all love to read. Y'all knock them 5 books out in a month. All right, so jumping right into the summary. Alrighty, so this one is going to be the summary for Tame Kane, a dark paranormal romance, Fated Mates by Tessa Stone. What would you do if escaping one monster meant running into another? In today's episode, we're talking about a woman who is desperate, hunted, and out of options. Tammie is trying to survive a world where her autonomy is being stripped away piece by piece. When a dangerous man decides she belongs to him, she does the only thing she can do. She runs. And that's how she ends up in Wintermoon, a hidden supernatural town, a brutal winter storm, and a wolf shifter who has been waiting 1,000 years for his mate. Cain has endured centuries of loneliness, a curse that has kept him from finding his forever one. But the moment Tammie crashes into his territory, he knows she's his. Not just in desire, not just in obsession, but in faith. The problem, Tammie just escaped the man who wanted to control her future. Now she's being told she's destined to belong to someone else. Is this love or another prison with claws? And when the man from her past comes looking for her, Cain makes a promise that chills you to the bone. Anyone who tries to take her from me won't live long enough to regret it. This book is dark, it's possessive, it's fated mates turned all the way up. And we need to talk about whether this kind of obsession feels romantic or terrifying. Let's get into it. I like this one too. We got some good books today, and we got some good books today. So I'm super excited. Okay. So let's get into the rest of this report, and then I'm gonna leave y'all to your homework. Alrighty. So was the book engaging? Absolutely. So, what immediately draws you into this book in the beginning is the life perspective of both of our characters, Cain and Tammie. Their lives are completely different. As from my summary, you can tell that Cain is going to be a wolf shifter and he's been waiting to find his mate. And then Tammie is running from a man. And I'm not going to give it all away right now because I'm going to give it away next week. But she is basically fighting for her life. She's running for her life right now. And so you are invested. You just want to know what's going to happen to our characters. You want that female to find her hero. We want Cain to find his love. So it's going to draw you in from the beginning, okay? Was the plot predictable? In a sense, it was kind of predictable. We get the typical like guy saves girl. Yes. Now, was it some twists and turns along the way? Absolutely. Absolutely. So kind of sort of I'm teetering again. So it's like sometimes you can see certain parts of the story coming, but then sometimes you are like, yeah, I didn't see that coming. So absolutely. All right. So the book strength is it was a great story. It was very well wrote. So we of course we have the zero inconsistencies, we have the zero errors. The other great thing about this book is it's strong enough to be read as a standalone, or you can finish the series. It's completely up to you. But I think you're gonna want to dive deep into that paranormal world because we're gonna get introduced to some characters that you're gonna want to know what happened to them as well. So good job there, Arthur. Alrighty, the book weaknesses, none. 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 Alrighty. Does this book achieve its goal? Yes, it does. It kept us entertained to the end. It kept me invested. I definitely wanted to read and will read the rest of the series. So absolutely, it did its job. My final thoughts on this book is I like that the paranormal aspect of it. It was easy to read and follow along. Sometimes when we give paranormal books, the backstory is just so deep and confusing. You have to almost read that introduction chapter maybe a couple times to understand like what's going on. But this one was very simple. It wasn't overly complicated. It was straight to the point. It was easy to follow along to. Um, we get a lot of good sex in this book. We get a lot of good sex in this book, so that's always a plus for me. I know it'd be a plus for y'all as well. So yes, we get a lot of good sex in this book. This is going to be a good series if you read it as a series, and it can also be good as a standalone. So, Tame and Kane, a dark paranormal romance, Fated Mates by Tessa Stone. I recommend this book. I give this book a 4.75 in the review. I recommend you, girl. Alrighty, moving along, y'all. That's the end of the podcast. I'm not gonna hold you, and I'm not gonna hold myself because I got to go get back in that bed. Okay. Alrighty. So that is the end. I love you guys for tuning in. If you are watching on YouTube, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome all the new people. Um, if you want to email me and give me book suggestions, give me your review that can be read on the show. If you are an author who would like your book read or your poem read on the show, you guys can all email me at ts_tammiepie@yahoo.com. If you want to follow me on the social medias, you can do that. My Instagram is topshelf_Tammie, and then my TikTok is Top Shelf Tammie. So, guys, until next time. See ya.